So this is the Size of the Problem Self-Regulation Activity Pack. So this is great to do with students who are having a hard time with figuring out the size of their problem and therefore having an inappropriate reaction size. So first you want to review this poster with students so you can print and hang it up or give them a small copy, but this visual provides a tiny problem all the way to a huge problem, and then you can see how the colors go all the way from green to red as well. And then there's a few worksheets where students can rate the problem. So they're going to read the problem, which in this case your pencil breaks, and they're going just to simply circle the size that matches the problem. Then there's an opportunity for them to say what they could do to solve the problem. So for this one, it's your pencil breaks. So they would draw a picture of a pencil breaking and then what they were going to do to solve the problem. So in the picture, maybe it's showing them asking for another pencil or borrowing one from a friend. And then they will write a few sentences to explain this as well. So there's a few of these, and they're all of varying problem sizes. So they're going to identify the size and then identify a solution, write and draw. Then there is a matching game, and I have an answer key here as well. But you're going to cut these strips of paper and then play a memory style matching game. So the students are trying to match the scenario to the appropriate problem size to form a pair. So for example, pencil breaks is tiny, your friend says they don't want to play with you is small, losing your parents at the store is big. So here they are, you want to cut these out and scramble them and then have the students form pairs by matching the problem size to the scenario. And this is a great way to start some discussions and conversations. Then this worksheet is the place where students can write in their problems at school. So they're going to write down some problems that they have at school and then rank them from 1 to 5. Then they're going to do the same thing with home and with friends. And then there's a space where they can write any other problems that don't fall into those first 3 categories. Then you move on to the second half of this activity pack, which is involving the emotions. So you want to discuss how they may feel different ways if they have a problem. And then draw some lines so they can match the size of their problem to the feeling. So this is a little subjective. There's not necessarily right or wrong, but maybe like a huge problem would make them scared or angry. And then these are coloring sheets that they can indicate how they would feel in relation to the problem. So again, this isn't necessarily a right or wrong answer, but a little subjective. So if they're going to be late to school, maybe that would make them feel sad, angry, scared, grumpy, likely not happy, but you want to give them permission to discuss any of the feelings and help them find the one that's most appropriate and matches. So there's a few of these coloring sheets. And here's another little poster discussing reaction sizes with problems. So small problems warrant a small reaction, whereas a big problem, you can have a big reaction. And again, just some drawing lines to match the size of the problem to the reaction. So a huge problem, which one would that go to? So that one would likely, you won't solve a huge problem by ignoring. You could solve a tiny problem like breaking a pencil, or if someone says something mean, by ignoring. But then a huge problem, you need to tell an adult right away. Whereas a big problem, you need to tell an adult, but maybe not immediately. So this is a great starting point for those conversations. And that's all for this resource. So this is the Positive Affirmations Easter activity. So this one is really fun. There's a couple things here. So the first thing they can do is build a positive affirmation. So they're going to cut out the eggs and then arrange them on the Easter basket worksheet to form different sentences. So they can cut them out and glue them on the sheet. Or for the second option, you can kind of prep it ahead of time by printing and laminating it, and then use Velcro, and the students can attach and reattach the eggs so they can form a lot of different combinations. So that's probably the best way to repurpose the activity, especially if you're going to print in color. Print it all at once, laminate it, and use some Velcro to fasten it, so then they can switch out the different affirmations. Or if that's not an option, they can just choose one affirmation that speaks to them the most to build it. So that's the first activity. Now, the second one is like an Easter egg hunt, and this one's a lot of fun. So you're going to cut out these affirmation strips, and then you can hide them inside plastic Easter eggs. And you're going to do a scavenger hunt in your office, or an Easter egg hunt. So you're going to hide the eggs around the room and then have students find them. And when they open the eggs, they can read aloud the positive affirmation that they found. So it's a really fun self-esteem boosting activity. So students will go on an Easter egg hunt, they find an egg, open it, and then you can read something like, I am kind, or I think peace. And those are the examples for those.